Man, first of all, I think I watched the trailer like 1,300 million times. So listen, let them see that trailer real quick.
You think she gonna be excited to see us?
I hope so, but you know them teenagers be a little feisty sometimes, so you never know.
Hey, sit your ass up. You ain't never gonna get out of here alive. We got people everywhere. You dead already. They got a man here, and I think he's running girls, and I think he has my daughter. And there's 220 doors. She gotta be behind one of these. Do you know Tiana?
All that trouble? Somebody's looking for her.
We gotta get you out of here, young blood.
My way is making sure all don't get put in the dirt.
King has my heart and he's taking care of it. He was conditioning you, child.
I'm a king. I'm a god. One of my sheeps went astray. I think you know what she is.
Her name is Tiana, and she don't belong to you. Something happens to a man when a baby comes into this world. You the protector, and you supposed to protect him at all costs. So I take my last breath, and you violated my baby girl.
My crown, my house, my world, man.
Jason Mitchell.
You better call it man Jason Mitchell by his name, yeah.
I'm sorry.
How y'all doing?
Right. What up, Jace?
What's poppin', man? How y'all doing?
By the way, Jason, today is my sister Mia's birthday today.
Wow, my sister's birthday was yesterday. That's crazy.
So is your sister older? Is she younger, Jason?
My sister's 4 years older than me.
So you know what it is like having a sister. Like my sister's a year younger than me.
Okay.
And I never, because mom, she say never put your hands on a girl, right?
Right.
She's to kick my ass left and right, bro.
Well, my sister was the one who taught me how to fight. Okay. And I remember, like, when I was really young, like when you get that real tight haircut, you know what I mean? I used to get the fat man in the back, right? This was like early 90s. And I had to be 6 or 7 years old, and somebody slapped me in the back of the head, and I went in front, and it was like taking turns, all like licking their fingers and slapping the back of my head. And my sister came back to the park and beat everybody up. After that, I was gone.
Period.
You know what? I'm gonna have to start sticking up for myself, because they was like, he gonna go get his sister. Don't mess with him.
Yeah, that's wild. But let me tell you, man, you are you're one of a kind. I remember when I first noticed you was, of course, in Straight Outta Compton. But you're from Louisiana, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like, how do you embody a West Coast character and Eazy-E and Straight Outta Compton and do Chicago? These are two different dialects. These are two different types. How do you get into that character, man?
To me, it starts with respect. You know what I mean? Just using Chicago, for example, right? Like, as I was building to work for the CHI, like, the Easter before that, I was literally in a random family's backyard eating with them at a barbecue for Easter. You know what I mean? Because my thing was, if I did mess it up, even just a little bit, they would know that I tried my best, because they seen me in the streets of Chicago. You know what I mean? So like, I put so much effort into it because I'm speaking for these people. It has a real voice. You all are from Chicago. You understand. Like, like, they easily could have got Lorenz Tate or somebody who was actually from there. So I have so much respect for the people and for the voice that I'm putting on. You know what I mean? So like, I'm working on it constantly every day. Like even right now, I'm working on a British accent right now, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Oh, we gotta hear that one.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I put a lot of effort into it, but it mostly just starts from the respect that I have for each of these pockets that I'm allowed to represent.
because when you do it, there's like a quiet storm in your performance. So that's intentional.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think that, you know, if I don't really, because it's no shade, right? But you see a lot of actors, especially that are from other places, you know, that have these extreme accents, you know, and everybody thinks they're doing a great job, you know, but when you really pay attention, it's like, was that really LA? Was that really Chicago? Like, nah, you just changed your accent to the standard American accent and you think that works, but nah, you know what I mean? And I know being from New Orleans, like every time they try to pull off our accent, it never works. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's just the accent. That's not even the nuances of, you know, like when I was working on the Easy situation, there was ways, you know, with him being having the gang affiliation that he has, being a Crip, it's a certain way they stand, it's a certain way they move, they body, because the police are hot. You can't just pull out a blue rag and be like, yeah, I'm a Crip. Like that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these things that get you locked up or killed. So
Right.
they move a certain way. So if anybody got a problem with it, they know how I'm coming. You see what I'm saying? And but it's a very nuanced situation, you know. So it was like even after I did the movie, people hit me in the DMs and at the after party and all like they're like, "Where you from, homie?" And it's like New Orleans. You know what I mean? And they're like, "Yo, that's crazy." Exactly, banging on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They had a
that's what's up.
who could really respect the fact that I do that level of research in order to have these characters come out the way they do.
It reminds me of what's the actor's who played, and you know, you may know too, Jason, who played the Joker in Batman, who passed away.
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Heath Ledger. So are you like that? Like Heath was probably a totally different level. I hear that some actors like they wear the character all day. They really embody who they is. That you do you get that deep or?
See, that's a little too much for me. I gotta be able to turn it off, right? And for me, I thank God that he gave me such a beautiful bag to dig into because ultimately that's what you call method acting, right? Like that's the term for it. You know, but I worked with an actor early on in my career. I'm gonna keep his name low, right? But he had never experienced the hood before. And I was still staying in New Orleans at the time. I was still living in Holly Grove. So I'm like, just come stay by my house. Like it's all good.
Oh wow.
But he chose not to shower. And I was like, sir,
Oh.
it's because we from the hood. Don't mean we don't clean ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So some of these extremities could be so far off target and they don't really help. You know what I mean? And you go home with these with this extra all over you. You know what I mean? And I got kids, I got a household to take care of. I ain't got time to be bringing that home with me. So, you know, I can only thank God for it though, because as soon as they say cut, I could go from tears to laughing again. You know, it's like my therapy and my happy place. So
Wow.
I'm glad I don't have to wear the character the whole day because
Right.
I heard
Wow.
some stories about that Heath Ledger thing. They said they was in there playing paper, scissors, rock to see who was gonna, you know,
Crazy.
go to his room today. Who's gonna have to deal with this cat that won't tell today? But yeah, I'm glad I don't have to wear that all day.
So that was interesting that you brought up your children. So like in this current role, did you draw any of that from just like being a father?
Absolutely. You know, like we hear about all of these different celebrities, right, who had kids around them and like, oh, this my kid was taken advantage of and this and that, you know. And you know, as parents, we all talk about this on the low. Like, yo, I would have been there to kick this dude door in with 2 feet, no problem. I would go to jail behind my kids. I will go to hell behind my kids any day, you know. So although it was a very eerie and scary place to tap into,
For
it was
sure.
simple for me. You know what I mean? Once I looked in Tyler Babarouche, oh my God, I definitely have to give her so much credit. Hats off to her. She plays my daughter. She's like definitely gonna be a star. She's gonna be a star. I tell everybody she's my new favorite actor. But
Oh,
when you can look in somebody's eyes and
sure.
instantly get that connection that you need, oh no, you could
Yeah.
take from there. You could take off from there because the day you think you're gonna violate my children and walk this earth like nothing is gonna happen to you, you got another thing coming. You know what I mean? It was definitely an interesting place to tap into, you know, and it hurt my soul at times. And it was good, you know, because Wes Miller, we have such a fearless director that he just creates this safe space for you to, you know, cry in front of these other 65 people who you barely know. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
so yeah, it was a good space, you know, and we built a little family making this for sure.
Oh,
It was eerie though. It was eerie. You never want this to happen to your kids for sure.
Talking about the cast, you got Dream Doll and others. Like as the executive producer, did you have your hand in that? And what was it like working with some of them?
Yes, yes, I did. But like for me, right, I I'm so critical
Mm,
as an actor, you know, because I love what I do so much that I have to say I wasn't 100% sold
mm,
on numbers and a pretty face and all of that. Like I had to see it. Like it was what it was, you know, and I have to give it to her. Dream absolutely killed her audition. I was like, yo, this is dope, you know. And when it came to NLE, his mom actually went to school with Wes Miller, and he was like, I just believe that he could pull it off. And for the character, I was like, I believe he could pull it off too. Like if he sits the ego aside, it'll be great.
right.
Listen, when this kid showed up, he showed up as Bryson. It wasn't an elite chopper with, you know, millions in the bank and ice and a grill and all of that. Nah, he showed up with 100 questions. You know, he was just very alert and intuitive and all of these things that I didn't expect. And I was like, yo, it completely blew me away. Like forever, that's gonna be my brother. You know what I mean? If he need anything, he could definitely call me. But like I was just completely blown away with the professionalism and everything that he came with. You know what I mean? And it was fun to work with him. I didn't really get to meet him in person until we did stunt training.
Right.
And by the end of the film, we was like, we made the decision ourselves, like, man, we just gonna do all of our stunts. Like we gonna do it. And we was beat up and scraped up and all of that, and it was still all love. We was just hugging each other, like, bro, we got something great right now that you doing. So yeah, it was dope. You know what I mean? Siobhan, she kills it. She plays this character, Riri. Like every time we've watched it with a crowd of people, they've literally clapped twice during her.
No, that's what's up.
It's like, yeah, she steals the show. Again, Tyler Babaroos, absolutely amazing. Like all of our stunt people was amazing. It was one of those films that like it was bittersweet to end it. You know what I mean? And it was hard making it. I'm not gonna lie. Like we shot from like 5:30 to 5:30, like sundown,
wow.
sun up, all nights. It was like 21 days, and it was brutal. It was, you know, but Dream had us cracking up laughing the entire time. You know what I mean? Like it was a fun set to be on. I can't lie, it was dope.
So, Jason, you weren't just the lead, you were the executive producer. That's like a whole hustle. Like, was it important for you to be behind the scene, behind the
Absolutely.
camera?
Absolutely. You know, because they have what I call the actors bubble, right?
Okay.
Where, you know, they come pick you up in a black car and they bring you to set and then they bring you to your trailer and they're like, do you need anything? You know, can I get you a latte? Do you need anything? You know, and then, you know, hours go by and you're like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And then you get a knock like, we're just checking on you, seeing if you need anything. Whatever, we got it. Like everything's great. But outside of the trailer,
I'm loving this acting role all by itself.
you know, like they have so many moving parts that like when they keep you in the actors bubble, you have no idea what's actually going on. You know what I mean? And it got to the point where I started just kind of peeking my head out the trailer, like, what is going on out here? What are these other jobs? What's all of this stuff that's happening? Right. And it got to the point where I felt like not only did I have some keen understanding on what was going on, but I wanted my voice to be a part of all of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like I didn't want there to be a ceiling on something that I love so much. You know what I mean? I've given my entire life to this. I love film from the bottom of my heart. I'm talking about like I still know all the words to Lion King. You know what I'm saying? I know all the words to Michael Jackson Moonwalker. I've been sitting in front of the TV watching movies for as long as I can remember. So now that I have the pleasure to be able to give people that escape and to have a voice and all of that, like why sit in the trailer for that part of it? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Oh,
what?
for sure.
I'm trying to turn us up. I'm trying to give us, you know, opportunity. I'm trying to give us everything that we didn't have. You know, too many times you're like the white man holding us down. Like, nah, that's not it. A lot of the times we get lazy and you know, we see them checks and then we just be in like laid back. You know, I can just chill. But nah, I'm trying to be the one sending somebody to your door, checking to see if
The
you
whole hustle.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
So man, listen, we know you got a crazy schedule, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. And I just want to ask you really quick. Tell me something about Jason Mitchell that people don't know. They see you they see you in all these movies, they see all these characters that you play. What's something about you that would really surprise people?
I think, you know, it's so interesting, man. I've been looking at like my socials the last couple of days, and people don't know, man. I'm a laugher, bro. I smile through my entire life. Like I meet some of my fans sometimes, and they're like, "We didn't know you were this approachable. Like, you know, you seem like so pleasant, and we just thought that you would be the meanest person ever, right?" Because I'm like dying and crying in most of my movies, and a lot of my characters are serious, but like I want to do comedy so bad so people can actually meet the real Jason Mitchell. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I love to smile and I love to laugh and I'm a ton of fun, bro. I really am. And I want people to know that. Like I want people to know that I'm approachable and that I want to see you make it and all of that. So when you see me out, even if I'm with my family in the grocery store, wherever I may be, like approach me. Like let's have a human interaction. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Jason Mitchell is proof that you can be powerful, complex, and still move with heart. He's not just playing Malik, he is Malik. He is a protector, he is a builder, a man with a mission. Yay.
Jason Mitchell.
Thank you guys so much. Ducky is in theaters everywhere right now. I hope you guys love it. Happy birthday again to you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Been a pleasure. All the best to you.
Stay away.
You see that, right? You know, I was going for the Freddy Krueger vibe. Thank you guys so
Take
much.
care, brother. All right.
All right. See y'all
Thank
soon.
you, man.
Later.